Go. Hi all, we're gonna have Joan read the roll.
I need to roll through the list. Well, I'm here, obviously.
Yep.
Michael,
Not.
Joanne is here.
Yep.
Wayne,
Nope.
Jean,
Nope.
Nathan,
Nathan's excused.
anybody online?
Yep.
There's Stephanie. Okay,
Yep.
hi Stephanie. Lucine, who's
Yep,
Lucine?
Lucine,
I don't see her name, I'm sorry. Yanni's here.
Yep.
Karen,
Yep. Karen is online.
Zoe.
Yep.
Okay, I forgot that. Okay, Delisa,
Nope.
Paul,
Here I am.
and Rebecca.
Rebecca is online.
Oh.
Hey, Rebecca. All right.
Okay.
You say call to order?
Yep.
I'm gonna call that meeting to order. All in favor? A motion to approve, I should say.
Motion for the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And move on. I guess we welcome everybody, huh?
So I will be emailing you the financials. Our bookkeeper is on vacation and forgot to send that to me before she left, so I will send that out via email.
All right, so we'll get that mailed out to us. That'll be a good one, okay. Let's see. Where are we?
June picnic.
June, okay. Next month is gonna be our picnic.
Yep, so next month, the library is actually booked for our usual board meeting, and MPCA reached out to Jess and I to do a workshop, a second workshop on regular board night. So I took the liberty of booking Beaver Lake Parks Shelter, and we're gonna have a kind of board retreaty, networking dinner to get to know each other better night.
Okay.
So we'll meet at the same time, maybe a little bit earlier, 6 versus 6:30, yeah. But it's gonna be just mainly board members, so I'm thinking, and partner spouses, whatever. And we will provide the main meal, but anyone who wants to bring like a side dish or dessert, we'll gladly take it.
All right,
Yes.
that it?
That's it.
All right.
So I know that Miss Joanne, yes, Rebecca, we always do a vegan option too. Miss Joanne, you have a few things that you want to bring up?
Yeah. So,
Let me get a clear page for you.
so last night, myself and Paul was there. We were at the monthly police meeting.
Yep.
And, I did bring up, even though I don't want to rush holidays, I brought up the 4th of July.
Yeah.
I am sick and tired of fireworks.
Okay.
And I live across the street from Frost Lake Elementary School, and it's a big open spot, and people think that because it's an open spot, they can set off their fireworks.
Mhm.
And then they leave their shit all over.
Mhm.
And then I go over the next morning and clean it up. And I am sleep deprived and stressed out and wigged out as well as everyone else in their neighborhood. So, the police department is aware of it. I know that they have worked with Paul before. We were talking about that last night, but they are going to do a huge citywide campaign
Oh, good.
about it. And they called me up today and said, would you like to be a part of our citywide campaign? So,
Two.
did you get it too? Yeah, so, I don't know if it's gonna do any good, but they really are gonna strive with trying to tell people that it's illegal.
Right.
You cannot set fireworks off that go into the air. That is illegal in the state of Minnesota. It's also, we have noise ordinances and respect your neighbor.
So question, I know we've talked to parks every year to make sure they turn on their lights because.
But this is no longer a park. This is-
Well, my question is, does the school have lights?
They have their lights on all the time, but it's on the school building.
Okay,
And
so
it won't-
not outside, okay.
They don't have the floodlights like they used to
They
have.
used to.
When it was Frost Lake Rec Center.
Yeah,
And that was my idea, is just bring in big lights.
yeah.
Bring in these big old lights like you see at car dealerships and plop them out there for a couple nights.
They
and then-
did turn them on last year, all the lights they turned on.
At the rec
It
centers,
Didn't
yeah.
stop them.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No,
And I
No,
understand. I don't mind, I know you need to set off fireworks. I don't mind between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. Hate the 1 a.m.s, I hate the 3 a.m.s, I hate the 4 a.m.s. You know, I mean, first of all, if you're out at that time of night, then you are up to no good and you are.
yeah,
And it's not just one firework they set off, it's like a half hour.
It's a half-hour show. I don't know how they can afford it,
But
but
I don't either, and I
Saving a lot of money.
I am praying that God, the tariffs on fireworks this year is so astronomically high, they can't afford them. I don't like tariffs, but I want them on fireworks like you wouldn't believe.
and see,
So
my,
anyway, they're
Yep.
gonna try,
okay,
you know, I mean, you can call, but they're not gonna come.
no.
my people,
So it's just gonna tell people that it's illegal to set off fireworks in the city of St. Paul unless they stay on the ground.
Are they like, send out mailers or?
Yes, there's going to be literature, they're going to do videos and put it on the city website. At community events up through the 4th, they're gonna hand out literature.
I wanna kind of try to guilt them by, saying, okay, your pets, you know, if you got pets.
Yeah.
pets-
Yeah.
For people,
Wow.
for people, yeah, so am I,
10-year-old dog, and
yeah.
I think this is gonna kill him this year if they do it, but. And so they're trying to guilt them like how it affects dogs, it affects vets. It
Yeah.
affects people.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Gun trauma.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
There's
Yep.
so much gun violence in
I
this
know.
country.
Mhm.
Yeah, PTSD comes
Yeah.
back pretty strong in our house during that
Yeah,
era.
that's their approach. I think what you said, Paul, they're gonna try to like guilt people into, come on, think about your neighbor. You know, and I don't mind if you set them up, well, tell them in the freaking country.
It seems like it's a lot of kids too. Like,
I no,
you see a lot of kids too.
families.
Yeah,
That
Oh, yeah.
by the van loads.
yeah, it's the
Yeah.
thing, we got a big party house is what we got. They,
Kids run all over the place and some kids gonna lose some one of these times.
yeah,
so your next one,
My next one. So you drive down White Bear Avenue on Wednesdays, okay? There's an Hispanic market that's just 1 block south of 7.
the old
It's on the
Snyder's.
east side,
Yep.
okay? Sick and tired. Today there were 4 semis. I'm not calling county short truck. 4 semis. 2 parked in the northbound lane of White Bear, so they block traffic. 2 parked in the southbound lane of White Bear. So now we're down to 2 lanes of traffic and the guys are out emptying the trucks with their pulleys. Okay, so you got construction at 7, because people can't turn, and then 2 blocks away, you got construction at haha.
Yeah.
And then you got these trucks. It was ridiculous. I called the cops.
Okay,
I just said, but there's gotta be something we can do because it's every Wednesday, every Wednesday. I know they need deliveries, but then let's space them out. Someone comes at 8, someone comes at 9, someone comes at 10. But there were 4 full-size semis parked on White Bear today.
well, I can send a note to the owners and see if there's a way that they can stagger their deliveries a little bit more.
Chit chatting with them today.
Oh, good, okay.
Hoping.
Which
Like that's-
business?
It's a Hispanic market that's,
Oh, I know.
It's a
Okay,
push
yeah.
and-
the CVS, the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Snyder's wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Snyder's.
Yeah, well, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Who are.
Yeah, they're delivering and there's no they can't really park in the parking lot because there's not a space.
They did that.
Yeah.
1 truck at a time. Today it was how nobody got hit and how there was no accident because the semis are out in our lane. And you got oncoming traffic and it was just crazy. It was just crazy.
So that building before it, I have always said, and I call it, somebody that likes to park double, twin tandem on the side.
Yes, I know.
I fall on them all the
I've
time, I
seen
can't stand it.
Well,
I'm pushing people out in the street, I'm
Yeah.
not kidding, get off the side.
Yeah,
And I'm familiar with that building, there's access in the back, go park in the.
well, that's what I thought because CVS had to receive supplies by semi trucks. So I know it's not, but they should be able to go down the hill, hang a right and park behind the building and
There's a-
drop their stuff off.
Bathing. It's a matter of them driving my team.
Yeah,
So the truck and pull up.
Well, I'm not discouraging business, but it's not right. I mean, there's no parking on White Bear Avenue and they are parking semis illegally.
Yeah,
And
Yep.
today was the last straw. I just couldn't do it.
It's a legitimate complaint on that one. I mean,
So-
why they only gotta come at once?
But that's just it.
Who orders that?
They do. It's
Oh.
gotta be the owners because. they-
well, not necessarily,
Well, then
because
they need
it's
to
when the
be-
delivery
Yep.
people make their schedules.
Yep, you guys, yeah.
Then those delivery people are gonna get tickets every single time. 'cause
Sure.
I will do that if we want.
Okay, and
Am I
porta
right?
potties.
She's on the roll.
It's been the same thing every year. I want porta potties at Frost Lake.
Oh,
There,
Okay.
if there's anywhere from 50 to 75 people playing volleyball there every night, there are no bathrooms. So they trick trot over to the lake and do number 1, 2
Oh.
in my lane.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And so the situation is where they play volleyball is school property and they will not pay for porta potties because they say they have no money. But they're asking for a referendum in the fall. Anyway, and then where the lake is, where they poop and pee is Parks and Rec. And Parks and Rec will not pay for porta potties for people who use school district property.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they took it out of the rec center too.
It needs to be the school, and I'm gonna call it
That's what
health
the rec center ran like.
X, because,
not a rec center.
Close down.
well, they have to close,
Close down.
yeah,
Which student would?
Yeah.
would you-
I don't mind them over there. Mind what they do on my lake.
yep, we'll raise it up to Parks again and see if we can get around, I
Never a problem when Bostrom was here, never, every year, Dan gave me a porta potty. I just went up the stairs, said, Sky, I need a porta potty, okay,
Yep,
it was
Yep.
there.
well, there's.
I know it, sheriff and down, but I don't even.
Let me see who I can beg, borrow and steal from.
Yeah,
Along that line, there's a complaint at Hayden Heights too, because they took away all the garbage cans.
yes, yeah.
Don't have any garbage,
Yeah.
There's
volleyball.
no garbage cans
Yeah,
anyway.
they took them all out because they said that people were using them.
Well,
using
yeah,
it.
that's true.
but they took all the, they took
Now you're
all-
gonna have all this food trash.
yeah,
But they have all this huge volleyball.
Is that, okay, is that at Hayden and at Hazel? Or do we know?
well, I know it's at Hayden Heights, we have one garbage can
Yeah.
at Frost,
Yeah,
one.
Yeah,
And they do come and empty it regularly, but it tends to be overflowing.
okay, what I will do is before I call Parks on that, I will send one of the staff over to Hazel to see what the situation is there, if it's at both.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what we can
You
do.
should check Prosperity too.
Yeah,
Probably, yeah,
oh, yeah. Well, you can do that on your way.
why,
Prosperity.
thank you.
Well, she has to drive all the way.
No, I come from White Bear.
no,
You could turn on ID.
Certainly I could, absolutely,
I pick up across the
just,
street.
just
every-
to, make you happy.
well, I got everything from different diapers.
I do, I do,
Condoms all.
and I do.
Yeah.
Sorry, people.
No. All right, Joanne,
That's it, those are my 3.
I have got my marching orders.
That's good.
Does anyone else have any other
We have
questions?
another community cleanup plan. For
June,
in June.
I wanna say it's the 21st, just took a call, so,
I don't remember, but and we're cleaning up.
White Bear Avenue. Hmm.
Yes, we are.
Okay, I gotta look.
White
Every
Bear
weekend is
down
crazy.
by Stillwater. White Bear down by
Hillcrest.
Lacrosse and Ames.
Hillcrest.
Hillcrest.
Sure, yeah.
That's one thing, like at the bus stops, they took away all the garbage
Yeah, I
cans
know.
at bus stops.
Yeah, they took them all too.
Yeah, yeah.
Set 'em on
So what are you
fire.
supposed to do?
Yeah,
I think-
that's right. People set them on fire. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what was.
And that's why they took the garbage cans away from our rec centers too.
Yep.
Cause you got dinglings, wackadoodles that think it's really fun, oh, let's set the garbage can on
But
fire.
if I leave town and I go to a place, out of state, nobody has trash cans. And I'm always like, God, I wish I was home.
Yeah.
Step out of my car when I'm going into the store and dump it.
Yes,
And only in Minnesota, I guess, like
I know.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
they don't. Crazy.
And now it sounds like we're starting to lose on it.
All right. Any other neighbor concerns?
Yeah, that would overload you.
No, that's all right. I mean, they're pretty much,
They're legitimate, these are.
no, it's a lot of park stuff, so that I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, then,
Take care of-
and just even like last night at the police meeting, there's been a pretty good uptick in crime along Maryland
Mhm.
Mhm.
between Johnson Parkway and White Bear Avenue.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff we're concerned about, going in the White Bear Avenue's gonna be next.
Yeah,
Right.
that's,
Right.
it's gonna, it'll,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll go up there.
They-
Because once they block that area,
They,
Yeah.
they moved them off of Bright Street and Dale, and so what do? Let's go over to the east side. So, but they've upped the presence of police.
Patrol.
And the
Yeah.
patrols.
Okay.
And then the homeless shelter encampment that's there on
Behind Cub.
White Bear, across the street from Cub and everything, that should be out of here by the end of this month.
Okay.
Cause if it isn't, I'll call again,
yeah.
cause that just brings more crime and more drug use and more drug dealers.
Now, I know yesterday morning when I was at the police meeting, there was two people who live close to Maryland and White Bear Avenue. And they're really concerned about how the people at the Amco or whatever it is these days, it changes names all the
The
time.
BP.
The gas station,
Yeah,
that there's just too much stuff happening there. There's drug, they've seen drug deals
Is that
happening
the
right,
one that's?
right on Maryland.
They're
White-
across the street from Pappy's.
Yep,
That one.
Yeah,
Yes,
and-
there's always.
It's been
some-
historically a bad one,
and-
yeah.
And, they were saying that they've noticed it more in the afternoons. It used to always be late evenings and they've seen it. Now it's broad daylight.
Yeah.
And two of the people said they went and talked to people that were working at the gas station. And they said, well, we have no control over what happens in our parking lot. And somebody asked them if they had taken their cameras down and they said, well, they're there. Well, that didn't answer the question.
Are they-
And I know years ago, when they came here, when the new people, this is years and years
Yeah.
ago. They said they weren't keeping the cameras working because it was too expensive
Mhm.
to have them monitored. So, I feel bad for those people that live right there because
Yeah.
they're older people. And even if they were young, it doesn't matter, but I feel bad for them to feel afraid to leave their houses.
Yeah.
Because, it used to only be after dark where they felt afraid. Now the man was saying he lives on Maryland on the other side, about 4 houses up.
Okay.
He said, now I'm afraid to go out of my house in the front. So he says, I have to wait till somebody comes. So there's 2 of us because I don't want to do it because I see these things happening. And they told the police, and the police are well aware of what's
Yeah.
happening there. But like you say, everything's moving and
yeah.
it's,
It's a half a block away from a school.
yeah, I know.
You got
Mhm.
school kids that walk that street.
Yep.
Well,
Or school.
Lisa, sometimes there's been a police SUV parked there. I don't know if somebody's necessarily in the vehicle, but that I wonder about that as a deterrent and if the police would be willing to just put on rotation having somebody. I mean, you've got to watch for speeding on White Bear Avenue anyway with how bad that is. That seems like a good spot for them to occasionally be stopping in to deter. Is that something we could request?
We can certainly request it.
Yeah. We only have 66 officers for the
Yep.
east side.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
And they do 3 shifts. Yeah,
Well, based
only
on how often I hear sirens, I don't live far from there. I'm guessing they would just be ready to rapid respond if they park themselves there. So
yeah,
We'll put in a request and see what happens.
yeah.
But yeah, a lot of it starts like even in Minneapolis, they work their way through town. It could stop, that's where they end at the PB and Maryland. Yeah, it all comes that far away.
Yeah, it doesn't,
It's,
it's sad,
Yeah.
that's the people who are addicted they're in
Well, it's
bad
the
shape,
innocent
so,
people that-
so.
All right.
They're welcome here. Can't say more.
Yeah,
Any other?
So
did she want, the lady from here?
Pretty good nonprofit. All this.
She just came.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Gabby, do you have anything that you would like to say kind of in preface of your filter giveaway?
Yeah, sure. So everyone, I'm doing the CPY copy, formerly Lower Field Creek Project. But we have been awarded some funding by the Plastic Pollution Control, sorry, Coalition, to hand out free water filters to site residents and other residents in St. Paul who may be worried about lead in their pipes, or other things like microplastics, things like that, but it's mainly focused on that lead issue that St. Paul Regional Water Services is slowly addressing. You know, they have their 10-year plan to replace lead service lines in residents' homes. And so, you know, we wanted to kind of give residents kind of some peace of mind if they know that they're kind of on docket in the next couple of years, but you know, haven't aren't gonna be getting their service lines replaced anytime soon. So, you know, having a water filter in their home that can help kind of give them some peace of mind, help with that lead pollution that they may have. So yeah, we're giving out free water filters. I have my big box back here, so if you know anyone, if you want to, or if you want to bring some home tonight, yeah, I have plenty with me today, so.
Do you mind if I take a couple for the office?
Sorry, was that?
Do you mind if I take a couple for the office?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Just let me know the number that you need, and I will be here in July for the
Yep.
July board meeting.
Perfect.
Is it kind of fluoride too?
I believe to a degree, these ones do, if I'm remembering correctly, but I remember the big ones were lead and like. Just, if you hear till the end, please let me know. And
Just look at.
good job.
Okay.
Okay,
Good,
cool.
thank
Thank
you.
you for coming and we'll see you again in July.
Good.
Other than that, watch your emails for the financials and then also, I'm sure that Miss Jessica will be creating a flyer soon for, the June cleanup. And then also, if you are interested, we're doing some popsicle pop-ups to engage with the neighbors. So that flyer is in your packet. And otherwise, we will see you all for sure on the 19th.
You want us to like email the office as to what bringing, so we don't, or just, you know, here.
Annie is gonna send out a kind of an RSVP and a thing about 2 weeks before, so watch your stuff for Annie.
Do you need a motion to adjourn?
I would love it.
A motion to adjourn, please.
I would make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Wait a second.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Is the next one?
The board picnic, yep,
Beaver Park or what?
Beaver Lake.
You're right, 390.
Time's this.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Call.